And we're going again.
And we're going again.
Going again.
And again.
And again.
In your head, lock the doors and close the blinds. Turn on your TV, turn off your mind.
Welcome. Welcome back, everybody. This is a bonus episode.
Bonus.
Or I guess maybe a bonus, but maybe like a bonus style.
Half bonus.
This is like a bonus style.
We aren't talking about a video game today.
No, we're answering questions that have been asked by inquiring minds.
Yep, by either random people of you guys that I've heard questions from on different social media sites or different people I've talked to, or just random video game questions that I found.
Yeah.
So we're just doing an episode because, you know, many other podcasts do.
We can do whatever we want. We have to do whatever the podcasters do.
But that way you guys get a little...
Fuck that!
Get to know a little bit more about us because we just talk about the games. So.
True.
So, last week's episode, we did Battlefield Hardline.
Oh, no. We're not doing it last week.
Oh, well, I mean,
which is
fair.
We'll release this whenever the fuck we feel like
That's true.
You guys can fuck off.
Okay, yeah.
All of you. You can go to hell. The whole episode was telling you to go fuck yourselves.
Yeah.
All right,
okay.
That's it, guys. So have a good time. Thanks for watching. Am I right? So we're just answering questions. So hit me with the first question.
All right. So first, one of the most obvious questions of all time. What is your favorite video game of all time?
You know, this is always a hard question to answer because there's games that you play that are like nostalgia based. Like you play them after you haven't played them in years. And you're like, oh shit, I remember this.
Yeah.
I fucking do this shit. But I'd have to say my favorite game of all time is Knights of the Old Republic.
Okay.
This is a game that has one of the most solid stories ever. It's a Star Wars game. It's fun for that. It's it's one of the best RPGs of all time. It's ranked in like top 100 games of all time, all the time. Like it's an insanely fun game. And if you haven't played it, where the fuck have you been? Get out there and play it.
Honestly, over the however many years I've known you, that is probably the game I've heard you orgasm over the most. So I probably would like.
And I've played this game on like all it's on phone. I've played it on computer. I've glitched the fuck out of it. I've played it on Xbox. Like it's a fun game. It's really fun.
That's still one I've barely played.
I know you need to.
I need to.
Man. It's a lot of fun.
I need to.
Maybe one day for the podcast.
It's a long game though, isn't it?
No, like 15, 20 hours.
Okay, then I guess we
pretty average.
All right. My favorite game of all time. I was kind of going back and forth between Mario 64 and The Last of Us, but I decided that my favorite video game is probably going to be The Last of Us.
I was going to say, if you pick Mario 64, I'm going to punch you in your dick. That game's shit.
I love that game so much.
Compared to The Last of Us, that
game is
shit.
It's
a nostalgia factor.
Both of those games I have played at least 5 times. I've played Last of Us probably 6 or 7 times all the way through.
The Last of Us is way better because it's story. It's a fucking thrilling fucking shit.
Yeah,
awesome game.
It was the very first like horror kind of inspired game that I ever completed, and it's the story that captivated me more than any other story ever has.
Yeah,
it's the first game I ever cried to. Like I have never had a game made me that emotional, and I didn't even think it was possible for a game to make me that emotional. And the graphics at the time, and even with like the remaster and shit, were stunning as fuck.
Yeah, that game is way better than Mario 64.
And it's on a lot
choice.
of top 100 games as well.
Mario, I would have been so mad. I would have been like, what the fuck's wrong with you?
Hey, at least I didn't pick Banjo.
True. So my thing is, you shouldn't pick anything before game stories were good. Right? Because anything before fucking like 2000...
Well, and that... I mean, it depends on what you define as your best video game.
Yeah.
Do you like the gameplay of it? Do you like the story of it? Do you like everything collectively?
Everything, I think, collectively is the best way to judge it. But, like, everything before 2000, they really went lazy on stories. They kind of did it on more of a either shock value or on a comedy value, right? Yeah. So that's kind of their whole thing was shock or comedy.
True.
Or copying a movie like GoldenEye did.
True.
So, but everything after 2000, when they started getting a better hardware for it, when computers started becoming like the main source of gaming, then it started getting started getting insane. So much better.
I guess next question, we'll kind of go in the same kind of field here. What's your favorite game franchise?
Oh, franchise. I would have to say the Mass Effect series.
Okay.
Because in other BioWare games, well, Mass Effect, they created this amazing world where just the amount of knowledge and amount of shit in this world is insane.
Yeah.
And just the fucking series followed through so well with the first 3 games.
Yeah.
Then Andromeda was okay. It wasn't terrible.
Yeah.
I liked it still. It was fun.
Yeah.
But just the hugeness of this game, the amount that they could do in it is insane. It was so fucking fun.
That is a series I've actually been really close to buying the remastered.
Yeah. It's only $40 for all 3 games.
I know, and that would be great because I could get them all
and then
remastered.
you don't have to play the shitty first version.
Yes.
Because the first version, the original version is really, it's weird.
I hated the combat. I tried playing the first
very,
one.
very strange in the first one.
So, and I know I'm going to get a lot of hate for it, but I hated the combat in Knights of the Old Republic, and I hated the combat in the first Mass Effect.
The combat in the first one. The second one is when they got good.
Yeah.
So
and
Knights of the Old, everybody loves it. You're just fucking crazy.
If I can't enjoy the gameplay, I've a lot of times stopped playing the game, which I'm getting to a point now where I have such a love for video games that I actually just want to play them for every reason now, not just the gameplay. My favorite franchise, by far, not even close, Far Cry.
I thought you were going to say Mario 64. We're like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
And even the Mario franchise, not even my favorite. No. Far Cry is by far my favorite. I have pre-ordered every Far Cry game since Far Cry 3. I have played the shit out of every single Far Cry. I've beaten every single Far Cry.
I've only played 3.
I think I've played every single Far Cry except for the second one and beaten it 2 to 3 times each. Like, and I love those games. Like, I've tried 100%ing all those games. Like, it's my favorite in every way. I love that you can, how much freedom you have in those games. I love the
amount
stories
of tits that are in those games.
There's only like tits in one of the games.
Okay, but still.
Yeah, there's no tits in any other. It's the
drug
sequences.
Just not as good.
Yeah, I like the drug sequences. I love the bosses in all these games.
The best game is the one with all the tits in it.
The third one.
So there you go.
Yeah, but.
All right, on to the next question.
What is a game that you thought you would like, but you ended up hated?
This one's hard because there's a lot of games that I play that I thought I would like that I hate.
Okay, we'll give a good example of one or a recent example.
You pick first.
Okay.
I'll think about it.
So first one came to mind. I used to be a huge Assassin's Creed fan.
Yeah.
I do not like the open world Assassin's Creeds.
The
Odyssey.
I heard that was really good though.
It's a great game and it's fantastic, but it's so boring.
Yeah.
How open it is and how much you can do, it's too much. Yeah. It's not, but it's not even like the combat is so one-dimensional, and I know like you can get different weapons and different abilities and shit, but like it doesn't feel like Skyrim's level of freedom or Far Cry's level of freedom. So like the open world in that just seems so lackluster, like, and like the hiding in it gets less and less appealing, and just like the stuff in it, and like they get way hard in parts and stupid easy at other parts, and they try to make it like Tomb Raider in other parts, and I'm like, God, fuck, no, this sucks. I've tried. I put I think 10 hours into Odyssey,
just not good,
and I couldn't do it. Like no. After Assassin's Creed 3, I kind of hated Assassin's Creed.
Yeah, I will say I think mine has to be Halo 5.
Ooh.
So I really Halo 5. It's just the story was so fucking bad,
dude.
Just I thought I would like it so much more because Halo 4 did such a good job introducing new awesome mechanics, awesome weapons,
awesome Easter eggs,
awesome everything. And then Halo 5, you go in and you're like, it's boring as shit. And it's not fun, and you're not playing as Master Chief the entire time, which I don't like, because you're really stepping away from what Halo was known for. Which I know you play as the Arbiter in the second one, and in the third one. And you played
Noble 6 and Halo Reach.
Yeah, but in Halo Reach, it's not about a Master Chief at all. But that makes sense.
And ODST, you play as the ODST soldiers.
I just feel so underwhelming in Halo 5. I felt like I couldn't do anything.
I honestly, like, those were also games. I used to try to always play professionally. I used to play tournaments. I used to be really good. I was on a team and everything for Halos. I pre-ordered all the Halos. I was in the paper for being one of the first people to pre-order Halo 4. 2 years in advance. It was stupid. I didn't know I was in the paper for that. But
the paper is late.
Like, I did the same thing with Halo 5. I played it for an hour and went right back to the game store and said, I don't want this fucking shit.
Yeah, the
it's
campaign was
bad.
just boring.
It's bad.
And the whole thing, the ending of the game, like the whole it's all about artificial intelligence being kind of
never
lame.
finished it.
So the whole ending is Cortana wants artificial intelligence to be recognized as people.
Oh, weird.
Yeah, so she's gonna kill all the people and keep all the artificial intelligence.
Okay.
It's stupid.
Yeah.
That's literally the concept of all the Mass Effect games. Like, they just stole that from every fucking sci-fi game. At first it was good, and now they're going into a completely stupid fucking direction with it, which I hate. I fucking hate that shit. So, yeah, that's mine. That's mine for sure.
What's a game you didn't expect to enjoy but really did?
You know, there's a game, it's called Project Sylphid.
Okay.
So this game, I bought it on a whim years ago. This was a game I bought for 360.
Okay.
And it just looked like a lame little spacefaring, kind of like a Star Fox deal game where you're in a ship the entire time and you're just shooting things. But the game ended up being fucking phenomenal. The story was fucking crazy.
Okay.
The combat was awesome. There was one level I just got so pissed off because I couldn't beat it because I was just so bad at the game. I didn't understand how to use my ship properly. And then once I understood it, I'm like, holy shit, this game is so fucking cool.
Yeah.
So that game just blew me away, blew me out of the water how good it ended up being. Even though I went in with this game's fucking probably gonna be trash.
Yeah.
It's only $3, so I'll buy it.
Okay.
So it's one of those games. It was in a bargain bin, and I fucking bought it.
For me, I think one of the funniest ones, and I know you're gonna love this, but because you brought up Night Trap.
Yeah.
And I watched some of the videos on it, and I was like, this looks like the dumbest motherfucking game in existence.
Best game.
Holy fuck, did I enjoy that way more than I thought I would.
The story was good.
I know. It was so bad that it was so good. And seriously, that song was stuck in my head for months.
It's so good.
I was never expecting to
I try to find the
that.
MP3 for that song, can never fucking
No.
find it. I wish someone would make an MP3 for it. There's YouTube. I can download
you can
it from
download
YouTube. I don't want to do that. I want to get an MP. I want to pay for it. I want them to know that I support what they did.
True.
That was such a good fucking song, guys. I want it. I want it so bad. Hey, okay, people who made Night Trap, if you ever listen to this,
which would be awesome.
yeah, I will send you $1 for your fucking song. Send me an MP3 of it or some kind of master track. I will send you $1.
And to show you our love, also, we're playing Double Switch at some point later on.
Which is another game by the same makers as Night Trap.
The owner of Game Factor in Greeley actually suggested us to play.
Yeah.
So
nice.
What is the game that you have the most hours in? And do you know about how much hours you have in it?
So I don't know. I put a lot of hours in a lot of games.
Yeah.
I mean, technically, Marvel Strike Force, I probably have over 1,000 hours in that. Because you have to play that game every day. But I mean, Smite, I had 1,000 hours in, I think. Pokemon, if I collectively put all the Pokemon together, if I just say Red, because I played through Red 30 times.
Yeah.
I probably got 1,000 hours in that. It's up in the air. There's a lot of games that I play a lot, but I would say Marvel Strike Force probably.
Okay. For me, it probably has to be Smite.
Yeah.
And I checked, I think, 3 days ago, and I had 97 days and 24 minutes in it.
So that's just kind of
a lot of time, but I've been playing it for years. So
yeah. There's a lot of games like that where you just love it so much you go back to it constantly. So, and I mean, like I said, fucking 7 or 8 games I probably have over 1,000 hours in.
Yeah. And I mean, I was the same way with Pokemon. I have between 500 and 800 hours in every single Pokemon game and stuff like that. So there's just a lot. All right. What would be 2 games that you wish you could have a mashup game of? That would work together to make a game?
See, in this question, I don't really care for this.
Okay, I've got a fun answer.
But I'd the mashup thing with games is cool and all, but it would only work in things
perfect situations.
Yeah, and similar universes or whatever. It works in maybe a Mass Effect and I don't know, some game that takes place on a planet not discovered yet.
Yeah.
Because you're in the same universe and it would be funny to see those characters. But a lot of you don't really care if Master Chief and Colonel Shepard or whatever Commander Shepard fought or whatever. I don't really care for that kind of stuff.
Okay.
I never really have.
Well, they don't have to be story mashups, but you can mash up 2 things.
I know, but they used to do this shit with the fucking when the Wii came out.
Okay.
With the Xbox and the PlayStation, so they used to do these fucking commercials where it would be 3 people fighting, and Master Chief would go against Mario, and they'd be like, Master Chief wins every time. Like, why the fuck do you care who wins?
Yeah.
Like, who fucking cares? Like, I just don't care for mashups.
Okay, this mashup.
Because I have to do that too. DC versus Capcom.
Let me tell you my mashup.
Your mashup sucks.
No, you'll fucking love it.
Let's hear
Fuck
it.
you.
Let's hear it.
It's Titanfall and Left 4 Dead.
Yeah, because so I never played Titanfall.
Okay, still. So I was thinking more Titanfall 2. The level design of Titanfall 2 with the shooting and the movements of Titanfall 2 in a Left 4 Dead story with the zombies and shit, where you're running on the walls. Like, take the mech suit out. Just do the Titanfall 2 running with the auto aim pistol or whatever. Yeah. That would be fucking sweet.
I mean, just added a zombie mode to Titanfall 2. Every other game does it. Fucking do it.
I don't like that.
I know, but every game
complete
fucking does
game.
it. Yeah.
I don't want just a couple of levels. Like, even like Call of Duty Zombies, World of War Zombies, and like the first Black Ops Zombies was awesome, but the zombies on all these other ones are fucking dumb. And the shit you have to do in that, to progress in the story of zombies, you have to kill this guy, then you have to wait to have one zombie, the special zombie, to come over this way, and then you have to spray him with this shit, and then he takes out this door, and then you find this hidden lever. You pull that hidden lever, and then you find this hidden thing over there. Then you shoot this wall, then this wall, and it unlocks a secret passage. Then you go down that secret passage, then you pull out a ritual. This
all sounds amazing.
It's the stupid shit because you'll never figure it out. Yeah. Like, you have to watch guides to fucking be able to beat the story.
Yeah. So you just basically want an overpowered person in a zombie apocalypse.
Nah, I mean, I wouldn't say they're even like overpowered.
A little bit, because if you could run on walls, I mean, that's fucking insane.
It's not really that fucking insane. It's not like
for zombies when you're trying to get out of like bad situations.
That would be cool if you had like a zombie horde situation, almost like Days Gone, the new PlayStation zombies game, where they're fast zombies and shit, and you're also fast. I think it would be fucking incredible. Like, the way that you would be able to do that and the level designs, like in Titanfall 2, like, it would just be insane to have that kind of stuff with it. I think it'd just be really cool.
I mean, it's kind of like Dead Space is kind of like that already, right?
No.
So not like with wall running, but with the weapons and shit.
Not even close.
Because they're basically zombies in there.
No, they're aliens, and you have to shoot off their limbs to kill them.
Oh, well, basically zombies.
And it's way more horror-esque. Like, it's a lot different, but I just thought that was a fun idea.
No, that's stupid. You're stupid.
You're stupid.
You're stupid for even suggesting it.
All right. Which video game character did you have a crush on, or do you have a crush on?
Well, we just played Subverse. So. I mean, so there's a lot of games out there where you can romance the characters. Like Mass Effect is a huge one. You can romance like every character in fucking Mass Effect. Coder's the same way. In the first one, you can choose to fall in love with all of the main characters. So I don't know. There's been no character that I've been like truly in love with.
Okay.
If couple that would be cool. If Ellie was older and straight.
Yeah.
She would be fucking sweet to date, I feel like.
Yeah.
Like characters like that. Cool, weird characters who are just fucking perky as shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Those characters always draw my attention. Those ones are like, oh, you're so cool. You're so weird. Fucking get out there. Or like Scott Pilgrim versus the World, the game, you could do like Ramona or something. Like you could pick one of those girls. Like the knives, all of them are really cool and fun to be around. So,
for me, my first video game crush was Cortana.
Cortana,
I mean, I thought she was attractive. I liked her voice.
Yeah, the voice actress is really cool.
Yeah,
I get like voice actresses are my favorite. I love the British English ones. Okay, I'll change mine. May. Because her voice is fucking hot. Like I know she's in her 50s. I'd still date her. She's fucking awesome.
She's not in her 50s in the game.
Oh yeah, but in real life, even the real life actress, I'd just be like talking to my ear.
Just talk to her, dude.
Because I just love the way they sound.
Read me a book every night.
Yeah, and it's that proper kind of cool English. Oh yeah, like, I just love it so much. It's not, as long as it's not Cockney English.
Yeah,
it sounds great.
I mean, it's Alexander Daddario, but her in Battlefield Hardline, I kind of had a crush on her character.
Yeah.
I mean, Alexander Daddario is one of my all-time top 5 crushes.
Is it Alexander or Alexandra?
Alexandria Daddario.
Oh, okay. So she goes by Alexander?
No, she goes by Alexandria.
Oh, I keep hearing you say Alexander.
I just am saying it fast,
Okay,
probably.
Alexandria.
So. Alexandria Daddario.
We're gonna call her Alex.
Sure. What is the first game you ever remember playing?
Pokemon Red, I think.
Okay.
That was the very first game. I played it on my friend's, because, all this kind of happened at the same time. In the same week, I played Pokemon Red, Super Smash Bros., the original, and Mortal Kombat.
Okay.
Because one friend had a Nintendo 64 and a Game Boy.
Okay.
So I got to play both at similar times. And then one friend had a Sega Genesis.
Okay.
So I got to play that too.
Nice.
And then, when we got our stuff, we played Sonic and shit too.
Yeah.
So.
First game I ever remember playing was on the old school Sega with the square controller, or the rectangle controllers and the square buttons.
Yeah.
And it was Rambo.
You know what? I take that back. My first game ever, Tetris.
Oh, yeah?
My mom bought a Game Boy, like way before.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. So, and the only game she had was Monopoly and Tetris.
Oh, damn.
So those were my first two games I ever played.
Okay. What is your favorite gaming console?
I don't know. It goes back and forth. I used to really like Xbox, and then they kind of, console gaming is kind of lame and boring now.
Yeah.
So computer gaming is so much better. I like computers too. It just the only ones I don't really play are PlayStation. So
Okay.
So I think my favorite gaming console would be Xbox or Nintendo Switch.
Okay.
And my favorite gaming thing would be computer.
Okay. I'm kind of on similar boats. I mean, throughout my life, I've tried pretty much playing on every different console and owning a lot of different consoles. Nintendo 64 was my favorite back in the day. And then Xbox, when they first came out and 360 came out, those were my favorite consoles. And then I went to PlayStation with PlayStation 3.
Yeah.
And then, of course, I got the Wii and the Switch and stuff like that. But right now, I still love Xbox. And even, I know PC's the best and superior. I still always prefer to play with an Xbox controller.
Yeah.
I love the feel of Xbox
They
controllers.
fucking mastered the controllers.
And Xbox right now is killing it with Game Pass and all this other shit. So Xbox is my favorite console right now, even though PC is better. And I still, on games that I really want the extra quality, I will play it on my PC.
Yeah, but you'll play it with an Xbox controller.
Yes, exactly. So. What's your favorite weapon in a video game?
My favorite weapon? The BFG.
Oh, from Doom?
Yep. That thing is fucking sick.
That is a fun weapon.
And just after watching the documentary on how they made it,
on
how they made Doom, they're like, "What do we call this?" And it's like, I don't know. It's a big fucking gun. So just the way how quickly they were just like, "BFG, fucking big friendly giant or big fucking gun." You got one of the two.
God, it's almost as bad as the naming shit in Mortal Kombat.
Yeah.
What should we call that? I don't know, this.
I don't know. Fucking just pick something. But yeah, that or the shotgun from Halo.
Okay.
Because the shotgun from Halo has always been
really
quintessential weapon. In the first Halo, the sword didn't come into the second one.
No.
It was in the first one, but not obtainable.
Yeah.
But the shotgun could always just destroy the sword guy. So that was one of my favorite weapons.
Energy sword from Halo is one of my all-time favorite weapons.
Yeah, from Halo 2. Every other Halo, it sucks.
Yes.
Halo 2, it was overpowered.
My favorite weapon in any video game ever, and if I ever get the chance to use this weapon, it's the only weapon I use the entire game, bow and arrow. I fucking love bows and arrows in games. I have no idea why bows and arrows, but even in real life, I prefer bows and arrows over guns.
Yeah.
I own 2 bows. I've never owned a gun. I've never shot a gun.
Well, it's easier to buy a bow than it is to buy a gun, to be fair.
Fair.
You can buy both at Walmart, but one you need to be 21 for.
Yeah. And you don't need a permit. No one even knows that you have a bow.
Yep.
Unless you buy a super crazy bow. Well, yeah, but
they'll know.
I love bows and arrows. I love the new Tomb Raider games with the bows and arrows. I love the Far Cry franchise with the bows and arrows and all the different things you can do. And I love that they have that in most games.
Yeah,
explosive tip, piercing tip,
and it's usually the most powerful weapon in the game.
By far.
Usually, and it's the sneakiest.
Yes.
So, and the crossbows and stuff.
Have any games ever made you cry?
I would say several. There's been several games Life is Strange. Just that game was fucking intense as shit.
Yeah,
both of them. There are parts where you just feel so bad and so sad, and then other games like Last of Us.
Yeah,
I mean that game was really sad. There's parts where you're just like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Oh my fuck. Are you serious? Games like that where you're just so helpless. You feel like nothing can really be good for you. Ori, even that way, the first part of Ori, when the bird thing dies, you're kind of sad at that. Like, there's a lot of games out there that really can pull on your heartstrings really easily. So,
for me, mine, obviously Last of Us, I already said, made me cry. Spider-Man made me cry the hardest I've ever cried in a fucking video game.
I laughed.
Oh god. Like, Aunt May is fucking my family. Like, god damn, that fucking killed me.
She's fucking your family?
She's fucking, part of my family. I mean, I'd fuck Aunt May.
Poor Aunt May.
Marissa Tomei Aunt May.
No, any Aunt May.
No, just Marissa
All
Tomei.
of them. Me, all of them. Every single one. But yeah, that was my favorite part of the game. She dies, and I'm just laughing. I'm saying, yeah, bitch!
Fuck you.
Take that, motherfucker!
I cried so hard. I'm not even gonna lie.
I was teabagging her body. It was great. Doc Ock was there. We were high-fiving. I joined his side in my emotion.
What game has there ever been a game that's been too scary for you to finish?
I mean, there's a lot of games where I go back and forth. Visage has been just a fucking horrifying experience that I just hate it so much. Because everything, like, randomly you'll see the door will be there. At one point in the game, I look through this door and it's just cracked open. And you can see a little girl playing in there. And you go up to the door and you start looking through. And then something comes right into the doorway thing and slams it on your face. You're like, holy fuck you! And just like games like that, there's been a couple of games like that where I'm just like, God, this game, like Slender Man was kind of scary.
Yeah.
But just because you didn't know what was going to happen around you at any given moment. Especially when you're in like the tunnel thing.
Oh god.
That thing is chasing you. You're like, what the fuck are you? Yeah, like games like that, it's not too scary to finish, but they're fucking horrifying to be in.
Outlast is a game.
Oh, yeah, because it's very like Slender Man. You have no power.
Fucking
Like, you don't have any way of getting... You're just running.
I've never jumped harder in a game than in the first fucking jump scare in that game. So, like, it was funny.
I was confused to the whole point of Outlast.
You need to fucking watch it.
Well, I know the whole story, but I'm just... It's a very confusing game in the way that... It almost starts out like a demonic kind of weird game, and then it gets really sci-fi near the end of it.
Yeah, and that was kind of weird, but, like... They're still going with the story. So there's the Whistleblower DLC, which is fucking amazing.
You play as the person who tells the
reporter. Yeah. And then the second one is a different story, but it's connected. And it's another game.
The second one's more demonic, I think. Because the second one, I think you're a lady.
No, you're a guy again.
Are you a guy?
Yeah.
Because you go to a town, right? The whole town is trying to kill you?
Yes.
Because they're trying to kill your wife or something?
No, your wife got impregnated during... You don't know how long you've like been crashed and whatever.
Yeah.
So your wife is pregnant, and there's a group of heretics and a cult. And the cult is going against the heretics, and the heretics are going against the cult. And you're in the middle of all of it. You're trying to get to your wife, but they're trying to... your wife is birthing the Antichrist.
Nice!
So it's really...
So like, it goes on a more of a...
religious, cult, mystical, supernatural, paranormal.
The first one went for.
It's more paranormal.
Because I think there's still an aspect of paranormal in the first one, especially with whatever takes over your body.
Yes, at the end.
But I think that's still supposed to be like with a Billy.
Well, no, I don't even think it's nanite.
Like, I have no idea, or it's something from space or something fucking weird. Who knows?
It was some being, because it was actually...
It was the Antichrist!
Well, they were doing all the experiments on Billy or whatever his name was, and he was in that too, but he was the being that didn't have any form.
Yeah.
So that game, though, for me, like, the first time I ever... Like, I watched the game... I heard all about it, so I bought the game, and I knew I couldn't play it, so I invited my brother Corey. You guys heard him on the Diablo episode, but I invited him over. I was like, you play it, because I'm too much of a bitch. He started playing it. I was in my mushroom chair at the time. He gets to that first jump scare, and I fucking jumped back and almost broke my mushroom chair. I fell on the floor.
Damn.
I screamed. I had never screamed at a jump scare in a video game before, but I was like, holy fuck.
That scary, buddy. I don't think so.
It was for me at the time. I was still kind of a bitch to horror back then.
You're still a bitch.
I'm still a bitch, but I'm a lot better with horror.
Oh, okay.
I watch horror movies all the time now. What is your favorite game genre?
I'm gonna go with RPGs. I think the world building in RPGs is a really cool thing because you're normally getting a lot of story behind the gameplay. We're in a lot of like shooters and stuff. You get story, but seldomly, mostly it's gameplay. But in RPGs, it's almost exclusively 50-50 gameplay story.
Yeah.
So
I said action RPGs, just because I'm the same way. I like being able to forge my own story. I like being able to
choose your own shit.
So much creative freedom. If I want to be a bad guy, if I want to be a good guy, like I love that about RPGs. I love being able to make the story fit how I want to play the game.
Yeah, for sure.
What's the first console you ever owned?
I believe. Well, my mom owned the Game Boy, the original fucking black and white Game Boy, not the Game Boy Color.
I mean, you owned, not family, not anything. Like, what was the first console you ever bought or was given to you?
I think it was a GameCube, actually. So, because the family had an N64 and the family had the Sega Genesis and the Dreamcast, we all owned that. But I got the GameCube, and Super Smash Bros. Melee and shit. And then we got an Xbox right after that, but that was mine too. Yeah. But that was the first one I think was a GameCube.
Okay. For me, like my family had that really old Sega. We had a Super Nintendo. We had a 64. Eventually, my parents got both me and my brother together an original Xbox. But I don't really count that because it was both of ours. So the first console I ever bought was a PlayStation Portable.
Nice. PSP.
Yep.
What a shit console.
I loved it.
I knew it. I knew you would.
It sucked for playing a lot of games on it.
Yeah, it really was not a good console.
No, and it had a lot of like cool indie games that were made for PSP.
Yeah.
But if you played a game that was supposed to be on console on PSP, it sucked.
It's just bad. Like the Sega fucking handheld, which looked sweet, by the way. The Sega handheld looked fucking cool, but it didn't. Nintendo took over the handheld world. I don't even know why PlayStation bothered trying.
I don't know.
Because like Nintendo did such a good job at it because they put games specifically into the handheld world, and then they could switch games over, kind of. But like I played the original Kingdom Hearts. God, what was it called? So it was a Kingdom Hearts Memories.
Oh, there is one Memories. Yeah.
I think Memories was the name of the game. So originally it was on
Decoded Memories or something like that.
Recoded.
Okay.
Yeah. So I mean that's just it.
Yeah.
They changed it from just a handheld to a console.
Yeah.
So in the handheld version of it, it sucked. It looks terrible, but when they switched to the console, it looked much better.
Yeah.
But they have games like that where they made games that were kind of good for that thing and switched it over and made it even better. So yeah, Nintendo really took over the market for that.
And honestly, like the first PlayStation Portable wasn't great, but the PlayStation Vita, that was, because it actually was a full controller. It had both joysticks, so you could actually play every game on the PlayStation.
I mean, and they re-released games on there, like Conker's Bad Fur Day, I think was on the portable and stuff. So just the games were also fucking expensive compared to buying like Game Boy games.
Well, I mean, yeah, but they were almost console games, and they were a lot more running. And then you could buy the movies for it, too, which I had a lot of movies back for it.
No point. Now you just watch everything on your fucking phone.
Well, yeah, but back
just
then,
imagine
like
buying a fucking movie on it and now being like, why did I do this?
But for like going to cross-country meets and track meets where like you would run 1 or 2 events and you're sitting there for 10 hours, PlayStation Portable was fucking the best thing in the world. So that's why I had it.
What were they fucking? He said fucking the best thing in the world. I want to know what were they fucking.
I'm done with this shit. You see what I have to deal with, guys? All right. What's your longest nonstop playing session?
I mean, I don't know. I've played 20 hours before, just going through, playing, whatever, and just being really enthralled by a game like that. And that's one of the best feelings in the world, is when you're so enthralled by a game you can't stop, or it's hard to stop. It's probably about 20 hours.
Okay. Me and one of my friends in high school, his name was Matt, we decided that one time we got both of our parents' permission to do this. We wanted to try to see how long we could stay up playing video games.
Why did you have to get both of your parents' permission to do anything?
Well, we needed mine parents' permission, but
because you had to do it naked.
Well, yeah. No. But so we wanted to do that, so we planned to do it at his house.
We hopped up on Mountain Dew and Cheetos. We snorted some flaming hot Cheetos and drank some Mountain Dew, and we were good.
His mom kept on ordering pizzas for us, and they had cases and cases of Mountain Dew.
Oh, that sounds disgusting.
It was bad. It was the most unhealthy thing. I think So
I drank 76 Mountain Dews that
besides eating pizza and going pee or shit, we didn't do anything else but game
Shits took too
for
long.
68 hours straight.
Why?
We wanted to see how long we could stay up playing video games.
Why?
Just to know.
Okay, yeah, great. What'd that get you?
Well, I was so delirious from sleep that when I went to go get a soda from upstairs, I tried jumping over the last couple of stairs because I used to do that at my house.
Yeah.
And, well, he had a ceiling that bent down.
Oh, so you hit the ceiling.
Yeah, and I cut my head open.
Ooh.
And
End of the game sessions.
no, I wrapped a towel around my head until I actually passed out.
Oh, interesting.
It was very dumb.
Yes.
Yeah.
They're very stupid.
Very dumb, very dumb.
Fueled on Mountain Dew.
Yes.
Mountain Dew, give us a sponsorship. I talk shit about you all the time.
And I love you.
You're disgusting.
I drink you every day.
You are disgusting. Ugh.
I only drink one a day instead of...
You might as well drink poison.
I used to drink a 12-pack of Mountain Dew a day.
But I don't care. One sip of Mountain Dew is too much.
Fuck you. All right.
Although I used to like the blue. What was the blue
Voltage?
one? Voltage, yeah, that one was kind of good.
There's
That's
a
the only
couple
one
of
I
blue
bought
ones, but
once, and then I was like, okay,
the blue
I'll try
raspberry
it.
one.
Yeah.
I like a lot
I
of the
love
different
blue
ones.
raspberry, though. Blue raspberry is my favorite. So.
Yeah, it's just fucking phenomenal. Which video game world would you love to live in?
I don't know. This one's hard because it's like... Because some video game worlds encompass like movie worlds and stuff.
Yeah.
So you could like pick anything really. Because even E.T., you could pick to live in the video game world of E.T.,
Yeah.
which is way worse than the real world of E.T., I think. But I don't know. Mass Effect is the coolest one, I think. It's got it's this huge fucking, you're not restricted to anything, but it would be cool to live in like two worlds where you're fucking magical too. Like there's so many good options for this. So I think anything with fantasy or sci-fi I'd like to live in.
See, and I thought about that a lot too, but there's still a lot of danger in a lot of those, and...
Well, there's going to be danger. That's the point.
Well, okay. Hear me out. Fucking shit.
No! You want to live in the danger.
No, I don't. I really don't.
Oh, okay. Then I want to live in Hello Kitty World.
Not as much danger. Like if you're just a random bystander in Mass Effect, you could be killed by aliens that come.
But the assumption is you're not a random bystander, right?
No, you're living in the world. It just,
okay.
So you'd be a random person. You could be someone. You'd be whoever you would be. So if you
I'd be the guy
think you're going to be a hero, you could try to be a hero in that world.
Yeah.
But you're not guaranteed to be the main character of this world.
Then I want to live in Skyrim and be the guy who stands on the corner saying, I used to be an adventurer. That's going to be
I said Pokemon, honestly. Because,
I love enslaving.
They're not slaves.
I
they're
love
pets.
fighting.
They're pets. They're not slaves.
They're pets. They're pets that do my bidding.
Yes. Well, that's what pets do.
They do my bidding. Go get me a beer.
No one has a pet just because, every pet's basically a slave. They're not in their natural habitats.
True.
But I just think that would be a great world.
That'd be a fun one.
Really cute. Anyone can become a Pokemon trainer.
There's a bunch of 10-year-olds out on the street alone, so you can just kidnap anyone you want.
I mean, yeah.
Literally, if you are a sexual assaulter, this is your dream fucking world.
Okay, now we're getting really gross and dark.
This is your dream world. If you are a pedophile and a sexual assaulter,
God damn
this
it.
is a dream for you. There's 10-year-olds without supervision everywhere.
No.
And they're just running around, and if you have better Pokemon than them, guarantee you're capturing them.
You're horrible.
Even the gym leaders, they're all 10-year-olds, I think. So you go for them.
Oh God. Okay. No. What game do you wish they would remaster?
Oh, Knights of the Old Republic. I'm surprised they fucking haven't.
Okay.
They remastered and it's because of the Mass Effect series. They remastered that because they've made every game BioWare has, but BioWare only made the first one for Knights of the Old Republic. I don't know if they're ever going to remaster it, but they really fucking should.
For me, I'm between, because I think there has to be a good amount of time before a remaster. I really hate that they're doing a Last of Us remastered already.
Yeah, it's been
because
9 years?
Well, it's been 9 years, but they already had the upgraded version already, even after that, upgrading the graphics. But now they're revamping everything.
Gotta make money.
But so and I'm gonna buy it, but fuck them.
Yeah. They know you're gonna buy it. That's why they're doing it.
I know. and I hate them for it. But I really would love Banjo-Kazooie.
Oh God, no.
Or
why?
Or Need for Speed Most Wanted.
That one I can see. I used to love Most Wanted. That was my favorite.
Most Wanted is probably my favorite.
That was
Need
the
for
original
Speed.
Xbox and GameCube. Like that's fucking like a long time ago.
And it's got the best fucking story of any of the Need for Speeds by far, and it's so fucking great. And I think that one, because they've remastered a couple of the old Need for Speeds, and I heard they're remastering Need for Speed Underground, which is another great one. But because it was the first one that brought in all the real customization, like the Pimp My Ride style customizations.
Pimp My Ride.
But I fucking just love Most Wanted so much. Like, I think that would be...
I doubt they'll ever do it. But here's hoping. There's just so many. The problem is once you... Like with Last of Us, it makes sense because there's only a few games, right?
Yeah.
So if you want to remaster... literally, if you want to remaster one of them, that's fine. And then in 10 years, if you want to remaster the other, that's fine too.
Yeah.
They would have to like start with one Need for Speed and start on all of them,
and that's kind of like
fucking many.
that's kind of what like Resident Evil is doing.
Yeah.
Because I mean, they had that remaster of 1 that came out a long time after the first one, but it's still been a long time since that's been out. Then they had Resident Evil 2 remake, and then they had 3 remake, and I think they're doing 4 as well.
It's just a lot. And to put that much resources towards something, that's fucking insane.
But I mean, I love like Resident Evil 2 is probably my favorite remake so far, because the way they changed that and the way they did that, and it's on our list of games to play.
Do they have Kamehamehas?
Sure.
Okay, well then it's perfect. It's the best game ever. That's the best game ever.
What game franchise do you wish that you would get another entry in the franchise?
Well, Knights of the Old Republic. So they did this whole thing with this game. They really good on the first one, phenomenal on the second one, and then I think the plan was to come out with a third one to kind of tie in the two stories together, kind of like Dragon Age. They did this.
Okay, because they did Dragon Age 1, 2, and Inquisition.
Yeah, Inquisition.
And
they're all different characters, but in Inquisition, they bring the character from the second one and the first one in, I think, for the first one. Even though they're custom characters, you can choose what they look like by going to the website and like picking what they look like and stuff.
Nice.
So they can look like what you had them look like before. Which it made sense, and to me, it was so smart to do it that way, because then you introduce all these characters and you can see how their destinies intertwine.
Yeah.
And they could have done that with Knights of the Old Republic, but because it's by two different developers, they probably didn't want to do it. Then they released the stupid online game and fucked the whole story.
Yeah.
Nobody likes the story from the online.
No.
They really think they did a disservice to everyone.
Yeah.
Especially with how important some of the characters ended up being. I mean, Revan now is a fucking character in fucking lore in the new, and he even featured in the fucking episode 9. Yeah. He's one of the voices she hears at the end. Like, that's insane.
Yeah.
He's from one fucking game, and he's that insane.
Is there a different franchise that you would like to see another one of?
No, not really. I can't really think of anyone. Maybe, I don't know. No, not really.
For me, Spyro.
Spyro? They have a bunch of Spyro, don't they?
They have...
Like 20?
No, it's not that many. It's not as much as Crash Bandicoot.
Yeah.
But like,
I would like to see another Mario game. When are they going to do that?
Fuck you. They do another one every fucking 6 months. And there's a new Mario Raving Rabbids game
I demand Mario Badminton.
They're probably... Well, it's in the Summer Olympics one.
I want a full game. I want dedication.
No, like, after playing the remakes of Spyro 1, 2, and 3... I want another Spyro game with those same graphics, but like just continue on and make Spyro 4.
Yeah, because I don't know
because
where
there wasn't
Spyros
actually
really went, so I don't know like if they're all in the same storyline or whatever.
Not a lot of people know, and there's so many like weird ones that not a lot of people played and that weren't very popular. Yeah. It's kind of like the Sonic franchise.
Yeah, like Spyro Enter the Dragon, the shittiest game of them all. Fuck
you. But I just, especially like Toys for Bob doing it. Like, they did such a good job with the remakes that I want them to make a new one.
Yeah.
Because they did that with Crash Bandicoot. They made another one recently after the remakes. And I want them to do that with Spyro now. Like, Ratchet & Clank just got a new game recently.
I mean, they might, honestly.
So, like, I'm just waiting for that. That's one I really want.
It's one of those games that makes a lot of money whenever they make it. So, they usually, but they want to make it right. You know, I do have one more.
Okay.
Skies of Arcadia.
Oh, okay.
This is the one I've told you before where the kid wrote to the president and he was like, listen, we fuck up every Sonic game we make. We're not making any good games. But I'd love to see a sequel to Skies of Arcadia because that game was so fucking good. But I doubt they'll never do that. The company doesn't exist anymore, I don't think.
Yeah.
Sega's going downhill fast. They're going to be dead by probably a couple years from now.
I would love another Banjo game too.
Yeah, I would love mediocrity as well.
Fuck you. They could make a good one.
Yeah, they
now.
could. I hope so. I hope they get rid of.
Yeah.
If they remaster the original one and it's like really good.
Yes.
Like change everything about it. Like the story change.
I'm fine with that.
So just make a new game is what I'm saying because the original is just a complete shit.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying remaking it. I don't want to remaster the first one.
Yeah, change the portal system at the very fucking least.
I really don't want to remaster the first one.
Yeah. It's too short. It is really short.
I want like a full game, and I want Toys for Bob to do it. Honestly, as much as they've done with all these other games, like I think they would do fucking amazing because they are so good at those platforming kind of games, and they did so good on all those. I really want some of these older games to be redone by them.
I really think what we need actually is another Sonic game. I think we need
a good one.
No, just any. I know they release it every other year, but I'm saying 2 a year from now on. For the next 6 years.
I want another Pokemon game.
I want everything.
I want another Tetris
Pokemon,
game.
I'm getting so old.
It's so annoying.
They need to put either more time in between them or release a gen that's actually cool because it is kind of getting a little annoying. Yeah. Like I used to keep up with it so much and now I just can't. And they're $60 now. That's fucking insane.
The thing that's been sucks about Pokemon, and I wanted to like the newer ones so much, and I beat them. And stuff, but like the thing that sucks for me is the whole thing is gotta catch them all.
Yeah,
but no game has all the Pokemon anymore.
Yeah, which is fair because they have a way of getting them all in different ways. But one of the things that I hated about it is this intense fucking training you have to do to be competitive online.
Well, and I don't even care about the online competitiveness. Like the stories on a lot of them. Like honestly, there hasn't been an amazing Pokemon. Like there's been a Pokemon game for me that has been as good as Heart Gold.
Yeah.
Since Heart Gold.
I don't know.
And I really like X and Y.
Pearl was fun.
I didn't play Pearl.
Pearl Diamond were probably the two favorite ones of the
And I really loved X and Y.
Yeah.
But besides that, like I haven't like fallen in love with the Pokemon.
Yeah,
game.
and I think their flagship Pokemon are gone, man.
Yeah.
Like you look at fucking red and blue and green in Japan, obviously. Yeah. You have Charizard coming out of that fucking flagship Pokemon from Gold, Silver, all those shit tons. Typhlosion was one. Meganium was. Feraligatr was a great one. Like
you got a lot of the legendary ones in Diamond and Pearl with Giratini.
And Diamond and Pearl, just Lucario.
Oh yeah.
Like you had these awesome flagship Pokemon that really pushed the game.
Yeah.
And now in the games, it's like I don't even know what these fucking are.
No, and they're not memorable.
No,
and they keep. I want them to make a more serious Pokemon game, not directed towards kids.
Yeah. Because kids don't really play it anymore.
Well, and the other thing is, too, is like most of the time, like the Pokemon fans that buy the most Pokemon shit are Pokemon fans that have been playing it for 20 years.
Yeah, we still have the cards from 30 years ago.
Like, I want to not have my hand held through the entire fucking game. Yeah. To have to sit through these dumbass conversations with these dumbass people. Like, I want it to be more open world where if I want to talk to them, I can. I can get more story from it.
It's that comic. I saw this comic that was like, do you want me to tell you how to catch a Pokemon? And he's like, literally in the time that you said that, I caught all the legendaries in the game. It's like, what? I'm going to tell you still. What? No, fuck off.
It's so bad.
Yeah. And even if you say no, they're like, are you sure?
Right.
And then you say no, yes. And then they're like, okay, well, still you should throw a Pokeball at things. I'm like, shut the fuck up, bitch. I'll fucking kill you.
What are your least favorite type of games?
You know, this one I go back and forth on because every game type, every genre has a shitty fucking flagship that's just awful. That just speaks so little to the genre. So like bad RPGs will make it ruin it, all those. But I think my least favorite type are tactics.
Okay.
So like this real-time strategy kind of thing.
So like XCOM and those kind of style of games.
like what we Subverse, like Final Fantasy.
Tactics,
like Fire Emblem.
Yeah.
They're just boring fucking games. They're so boring.
Hard.
And they're not too hard. It's just
some of them are.
Yeah, some of them are, but it's like this mini RPG element, mini tactics element. It's just not fun.
Like the most fun of those I've played, honestly, was the Mario Raving Rabbit one on the Switch.
Yeah.
That is fucking phenomenal.
Gotcha.
The style of combat in it, and it gets progressively harder and harder. So it's one that will challenge you throughout, which I loved because I was like, whoa, a Mario game that actually gets harder the farther you go into it. but like the style of that, like, so it was that same style of like the grid system and choosing, and you could miss and hit and stuff like that. But like you could combo attacks and shit, or like you could have someone walk over to a like placement, and then you could have like one of the bunnies like jump onto Mario's hands, launched him into the air. He did a flip and then shot him. I was like, that's some fucking cool ass shit. And the second one that's coming out looks even better, and I might even fucking pre-order that. Like that's the only tactics game I've fully loved.
Yeah, and that's the problem is I can't name any that I've actually liked playing except for the Age of Empires one that came out on the DS.
Oh, I didn't even know about that one.
Well, and it's a very small scale type of one, so it's not very good. But you can create units, like you can keep pushing out units based on stuff you do.
Nice.
So it's actually kind of fun for that one, but that's the only one I can name that I actually liked.
For me, any game that requires you to have a squad or a team or a whatever, I hate having to be forced to play with a bunch of people.
Yeah.
Especially like I will never play World of Warcraft for that reason, because like raids, you need a team of 40 people.
Oh, that's what you mean. I thought you meant like a like Knights of the Old Republic. You have a squad.
No.
Like
a forced online. Everyone's a real person squad.
You can't play this game unless you have 40 people to play with. Gotcha.
Or like even like Destiny got really old for me because you had to have 4 people that knew everything about the raid to do them.
Yep.
And if one person fucked up, it messed up for everyone. I hate those style of games. I hate that you have to have everything so perfect.
Those
all
MMOs
40, all 5 or 40 or 10 people all have to have extraneous knowledge.
Destiny was really fucking annoying with that. And especially because once you got in with someone who knew everything, like they're just leading you the entire way. I'm like, can I just figure something out for my fucking self?
And any game that has a guild. Any games that have guilds for me, I fucking hate.
Yeah, because there's a certain amount of like participation you need to place in any kind of game that has a guild or clan or whatever.
Well, yeah, it was kind of like a bunch of our friends. Like I played Marvel Strike Force back in the day, and then a bunch of our friends started playing it, so I started playing it again, and we got into a guild, and it was fun for a while. But the thing that I hate about guilds is the longer you play as a guild, the more serious some players want to be, and they force everyone who's not as serious as them out of the guild.
Oh yeah. Well, but that's normal. That's why you go in and find guilds that are more relaxed. But also that means you have to find, like, you can't play that game without finding a fucking guild.
Yeah,
like that's the problem.
And that's the thing that sucks too. And like, well, even Summoners War. So I did that. And I kept on switching guilds. I switched guilds probably like 7 times, but I would always, every guild that I was in, at some point, would get stupid serious for some reason, because a certain person would come out and everyone wanted to farm for that person or whatever the fuck it was. And I would just get so pissed off because, like, if I don't want to play that game for 3 days because I've played it for 180 days straight, I don't think I should be fucking kicked out of a fucking guild for that.
Yeah.
And it's so dumb that, like, I can't take a break on a game.
Nope.
Like,
I hate those games are all day in, but also World of Warcraft, same thing. They'll kick you so fast if you're not on for 2 days.
Especially something like that. Yeah. And even like Diablo guilds, like where you're not even playing with each other, they're so fucking serious. Yeah. You didn't get any times in this. I'm like, what the fuck is this? I don't give a fuck. Like, why do I need to be in the most popular guild for Diablo? It's a 1-player game.
Yep.
You can play with other people, but it's not even for like on like the best thing you can do is get better times. Like, who cares?
Do you even game, bro?
Not as much as these
apparently
people
not.
are. I'm not that serious about any of these things. Like, they're fun for me. Like, Marvel Strike Force was fun. Summoners War was fun.
Yeah.
Lords of War, all those games were fun to me to a point. And then when everyone got way too serious about it, I'm like, I'm fucking done.
For sure.
What are games that you're really bad at? Like, what kind of games are you just really bad at?
I mean, it just depends. Some battle royales I'm not very good at. Some MOBAs I'm not very good at. Like, I don't know. First-person shooters I'm okay. MOBAs I'm pretty good. Games like World of Warcraft. Pretty much those games, I'm fucking terrible.
Yeah.
I'm not about like having 25 buttons in front of me that I have to fucking press. in a certain order. You have to press, and I know you can map them, so you can do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so you can just press them in that order. But like when they map them yourselves, you could be doing 5, 3, 7, 1.
All right, I have to say QW 6, 7, 9, 7, 1.
I need to take 2 steps after I press these 6 buttons. If I don't take 2 steps, I'm not getting my full benefit of my shielding that I get from pressing.
And then we're probably going to lose the raid.
Yeah.
And everyone's going to hate me.
Yeah.
I'm going to kick out of my guild.
Those games I just cannot stand. It's too much shit, man. There's too much involved.
So much.
And I'm just not about that life.
I love a lot of platformers, but I'm not great at platforming.
Oh, I know.
I know you know.
I experienced a lot of that when we were playing It Takes Two.
That's one that I say that I'm not, like, besides World of Warcraft and games like that, I'm not very good at.
Yeah.
But
platformers are fun, but they're just like, it's just tedious and you get bored, so you just want to push through it. Like, and then when you start pushing through it, that's when you start fucking up.
And I'm also really not good, like, when a game forces you to have to do, like, so, like, Sekiro, Shadow Die Twice, it's the same, From Software made those games, it's the same that made Dark Souls. I love the Dark Souls games. I love Bloodborne, I love Dark Souls 3.
Yeah.
I played a little bit of the Dark Souls Remastered. I love those games. They're not too hard. I can get through those games. Like, it takes a long time and it frustrates the fuck out of me, but I can get through those games. Sekiro, you have to be able to parry. You have to. Yeah. And I hate games where they force you to have to do something.
Kind of like the original Assassin's Creed. It was all about counters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you had to get good at counters to be able to beat the game and stuff like that. Like, I hate when, like, they literally, like,
they put a broken concept in the game, and if you don't do it, then you just get fucked throughout the entire game.
And, like,
I agree.
Same with, like, a lot of some online games, like a lot of, like, the Call of Duty games. If you don't use this one weapon, you're not going to be a top player.
No, yeah, and I mean, that's the same in any kind of meta.
Yeah.
Kind of meta, like MOBA games are like that a lot because they change the items so much.
But I mean, even a lot of those, like Smite, especially lately, especially because they got rid of boots and stuff like that. Like, games like that is full freedom on characters and stuff. Like, there is a meta for pro players, but if you're not a pro player, you can play anything in any role, build any way you want to build, and it's fucking fantastic. It's the most balanced I've ever seen the game.
Yeah.
And I don't mind that. But yeah, I mean, there is a lot of MOBAs where it's like, especially like League of Legends, if you don't pick a certain god, or if you pick a certain god, everyone in the chat will be like, I fucking hate you. Why the fuck you tilted in this game? You're a fucking piece of shit.
You're tilted.
I hope you get cancer and die of AIDS.
Me too. Just say me too when they say that. Me too.
Seriously though, it's just so bad. Let's see, do we have any more questions, or do we want to call it good there?
I think we can call it good there.
Okay.
So yeah. So that was us answering questions about games.
Yeah.
And we did it. I've done it!
Comment it, tell us where we're wrong, tell us what you thought was funny, tell us if you agreed on certain things.
Tell us you hate us, tell us you want us to die of cancer and AIDS.
Sure.
Please tell me, because I will say me too.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
All right, guys. Well, thanks for listening, and we will see you later.
Bye.
Bye.